Oh, are you? Welcome back to What Not Quite Mint. This week we're going to be talking about the comics from the 22nd of January. So, should we get into it, Rich?
Let's get into it.
This is the future. Evolution.
So the first comic this week we're going to come up with, or going to talk about, is the Atlantis Attacks. So, I mean, I didn't read this one. I have had a flick through the artwork. The artwork is beautiful.
Yeah, I read it earlier on lunch, basically. So just to obviously tell you a little bit about this one, obviously it's going to be a 5-issue series, which the way that it's been sort of sold when we, I think we featured it as one of the keys last week, didn't we?
I think so, yeah.
It's, sort of the new agents of Atlas obviously fighting the old agents of Atlas. Now, not much of that happens in this issue, I'll be honest, but we do have sort of a storyline that involves Namor.
Yeah.
Not to give too much away, which is I personally found it really, really engaging as a story. It wasn't what I expected. It was a lot better than I'd expected. The artwork I really sort of connected with because it sort of has I don't know if you felt it when you looked at the pictures that it's kind of anime, like it's got like a bit of a Japanese type of art influence.
Yeah, I found, whilst flicking through it, just have a brief look before we did the videos. I like the art style. I think it's very interesting, and also I actually pretty much knew what was going on from the artwork, which always proves it's a good artist. Yeah. So I kind of knew what was going on. It's pretty self-explanatory, but the artwork is very anime style, kind of almost manga. I wouldn't say it was manga, but it's teetering on the edge, I would say.
Yeah. I didn't have much expectations, but I kind of did, and it really did exceed my expectations on all fronts with this one. So I definitely am going to carry on with the series. As I say, it's whether I'll buy the next issue or whether I'll just download the digital copy. I'm not too sure, but yeah, certainly going to want to see how this turns out because there's some really diverse characters in there.
Yeah, some awesome. I mean, Amadeus is awesome, to be fair.
Yeah. So yeah, recommend that one if you're into that like Namor. What's his? He's not. He was like the Hulk, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the Hulk for a little while.
He's not the Hulk.
Not Hulkling is Teddy, who's actually going to be in a big event coming up this year. So watch out for that one.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just was like, I was really kind of impressed with that. Not knowing anything about the characters, definitely want to know more. So anyway, we're going to move on to this next book, which you will see is
Batman 87.
Batman 87. Now I went for the Matina
because it's
cover.
Stunning. Why would you not go for that cover?
Mainly because when I bought Batman 86, I bought the Matina cover, which had Deathstroke on it. And, and everything. So
which was a bit of a spoiler that he was in it. To be fair, yeah.
And he was short-lived in that one as well. We
Very
can talk about that as well now.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, because that was obviously 2 weeks ago.
The Matina is up on screen there.
Yeah, I think this is a lovely cover. Do you want to go first? Do you want to talk about what you thought about this
cool.
one?
I mean, obviously building on the events of the last, the first of this James Tynion IV run, we saw a load of supervillains being rounded up. We saw the Nightcrawler, being sort of part of that sort of battle, and like how he outsmarted obviously Slade Wilson and everything.
Or did he? Or did he outsmart?
Well, that's this issue. Yeah. That's this issue. So we move into this one at the end of the last issue, the first issue as well. It was sort of teased a little bit about the Joker, wasn't it? I think there were people in clown masks.
I can't remember actually. I know it was teasing about the big bad or whatever he is that's going to be making his appearance within this series, but I'm not sure whether they did the Joker. I know they teased the Riddler.
They just showed men with clown masks on. So for me, I just was like, it's next issue's going to have the Joker. Moving on to this issue, 87. I really did just feel that it didn't really pick up the pace or expose much more. There wasn't that human element of, sort of like the Morning of Alfred or any of that. So it was it just was more of the same. Not that that's a bad thing. We're going to say who's in it. So the Riddler's in it.
The Riddler's in it.
The Penguin's in it, and they're basically kind of like in a state of panic, aren't they?
Yes, I liked the dynamic between the two of them. It's in the first bit of the comic. There's a little bit of bit of to and from them, but I get the opinion or the idea that like Bruce Wayne's got this design for Gotham City, but it looks like the villains have got a design for the city as well.
Yeah.
But because of somebody else that they've not introduced yet, which I'm guessing is this designer character that keeps being leaked everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is quite fitting the name, really.
Yeah.
So I get the idea that this is gonna really go somewhere. But I like the dynamic between those two. Yeah. I also like that Catwoman's hiding something.
Yeah. There were a lot of things teased in this issue, which there were, as I say, whilst there weren't any like real major action sequences where there was
really.
It was quite a lot of dialogue and quite a lot of like sort of scene setting.
Yeah,
so
that's how I would have described it. Scene setting.
It's like, you know, it's one of those ones that I think when the full runs out, you'll probably read through this one not realising it was an actual issue in its own right kind of thing. But yeah, there's some interesting things being teased. Catwoman. We don't know why. You know, all these like super villains are behaving the way that they are, but also there's the whole which I was kind of relieved for, but the super villains who were captured in the first issue do make a reappearance and have a fairly key part in the plot.
Again, it's not the two that they were like, oh, we've got these two new characters, Mr. Teeth and I can't remember, it's Gunslinger or something.
Yeah.
It's not those two that make their. Well, they are in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I didn't dislike this one.
No, I didn't.
But I thought it was a bit of a slow burner. I wouldn't put this as one of my top comics this week.
No, definitely.
But there is a lovely panel spread in it. I think it's page 8, where Catwoman's talking to Batman. It is absolutely stunning, in my opinion. I think it's really well laid out. This one. I think that's just absolutely well laid out, in my opinion. I just think it's really nice because she's obviously on the phone to him and it kind of looks like she's talking to him, as it were. I like that one. Yeah,
it was nice. It is a really well written book.
Oh, it's a lovely book.
I like I say, I can't knock it. The art's fantastic. The writing's fantastic. I'm intrigued. It was just more sort of, you know.
Like you said, scene setting.
More scene setting, exactly. And
but
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to see where it's going to go next.
100%. So cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty much that done. So next up,
do
you want to
Wonder Woman 750. Well, I almost said 75 because it's the 75th anniversary. Now I love this cover, but I don't know if you can understand why I love this cover. So we'll leave it at that. Leave a comment below if you know why I love this cover. Leave a comment below.
If you've watched any of our other videos, you'll probably
or follow us on Instagram.
A hint for it, but yeah, if you obviously guys, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Not quite means dead easy to find.
Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. But what did you think about the book, Tom?
Well, I actually don't know what's going on because I don't read Wonder Woman. But I'm glad I picked it up. I am glad that I read it because it's an okay story. It's easy enough to follow. The artwork and the story is so easy to follow. I knew what was going on. I knew who the characters were, and I ended up, guessing what had happened in previous comics, which is quite a nice thing. But I didn't care, so I doubt I will read any more of it. However, this book has got some really nice, lovely one-shot stories in the back. It's a really nice 75th anniversary, in my opinion. I don't know if they're that, they're not the best written things, but some of the artwork in it is just lovely. I mean, there's lots of different types of artwork. There's lots of different writing in it. I would recommend it to anyone. I'd say pick it up. If you want to read a few short stories, why not? Pick it up about Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I am going to be honest. And
yeah.
So for me...
Hated it.
I've never read Wonder Woman before. And so, yeah, I'll share with you. I initially didn't really know what was going on with it. Just kind of got into it that, she was finding all of her magical little bits and bobs. And but you can probably tell, I wasn't bought into it at all. And I don't want to sound really sexist.
Don't.
So, but I could not it felt a bit softly written. So like reading things like like obviously Batman, Atlantis Attacks and stuff, there's like a bit of like fisticuffs in there, whereas like there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of action in there.
Yeah.
But oh my god, especially some of the short stories, I literally wanted to like
Stop reading.
just stop reading. I don't know. I wanted to do something a lot more harsh than that, but it was just like they were very. If you're the sentimental type, and I can be sentimental, but not when I'm reading comic books. So I don't want like lovey
touchy
feely family stuff. Oh my god, there's one story, the one with the girl with the flowers.
I'll be honest. Actually, when I was reading this, that one nearly put me to sleep.
That one is.
Yeah.
And there's a really awkward bit where they're all hugging each other, and
I like that bit.
that bit there, look. Oh, I'm gonna hug you, and it's just like out of context. It's like inappropriate.
I mean, if you saw that panel without dialogue, you'd be like, "Well, I don't really understand what's going on."
The artwork, though, I'm gonna stop before I get myself into trouble. But the artwork in there is lovely, and see, I'm using words like lovely now. Jesus
Just
Christ.
put it down. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Great covers, great artwork, but story-wise, I'll never read another Wonder Woman comic ever again.
Fair enough. So we haven't actually discussed this, if or not this is going to be, but this is definitely my pick of the week.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
I was excited about this at the start of the week. I was excited about this last week when it got announced and we knew what was coming out. But this, in my opinion, is amazing. Guardians of the Galaxy are back.
Yeah,
Issue 1.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those ones where we spoke obviously about it in our keys. I don't think there's the Gods of Olympus thing in here, which, and it's obviously number 1. I don't know how long the run's going to last, but it's obviously going to be a long ongoing thing. We are Guardians fans anyway.
Yeah, it's my top movie.
So we were really, looking forward to reading it and seeing what it was like, and not having read, well, like I know you've read like previous comics, but this is my jumping in point for a lot of books that we were obviously reviewing and reading on this channel. But this I hadn't read it, and it's probably second behind Thor in terms of the books that I've read in recent. Probably, it's up there with like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but this is definitely probably my second favourite book that I've read since starting the channel, and obviously speaking to you guys out there.
As a soft reboot, because obviously they seem to be wanting to do this every year with Guardians of the Galaxy. They reboot them, they start a new issue 1. Donny Cates did such an amazing job with it in the last run, but it's in good hands.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were coming from not knowing who the Guardians were and you jumped on this book, it wouldn't take you long to pick up on who they are, what they're about.
Yeah.
The whole family side of things I really, really like. I actually think this is the story and the way it's written and drawn is very much a throwback to the one that came out after the Annihilation, which was one of the original ones, which I think the film's based on that side of the Guardians. And I've got it written down here. It was written by Abnett and Lannings.
Oh, okay.
Their series. So yeah, I love that series.
Yeah, and I really liked it as well. You've got Rocket Raccoon there wearing a suit,
which is cool.
Which is
very cool.
Like random yet cool. But yeah, everything just really works in there, and there were some quite like emotional parts in there that I thought with Nova, like a bit of self-doubt and stuff.
There is,
and it's they're obviously reeling from the
Annihilation.
I
can't remember what sort is it. Annihilation Scourge. That's it. Source.
So they're like reeling from the after effects of that, but the Guardians have found this like happy family. But yeah, it's sort of like they're the Guardians of the Galaxy for crying out loud. So they're going to guard the galaxy.
Well,
and
you'd hope
it needs guardian.
Yeah. My only criticism with this, if anything, would be I need more Groot in my life. That's all I'd say.
Yeah, I don't get what's happening with Groot.
But I think, and this is my only doubt in this entire this lovely comic. My only doubt is
lovely.
I feel lovely is that
Woman.
I think maybe it could be predictable because I feel like I know what's going to happen next.
Watch his space.
So yeah, I hope it's not going to be predictable. I
What
hope
we
it's gonna
should
be
do
unpredictable.
is, if you've got a prediction, we should put it in an envelope. You should write it out
Yeah.
in an envelope, right? And then when it happens, we'll open said envelope.
Yeah.
We'll put it up here, and then
Be like,
we'll
"Told
open
you,
it up.
told you
And
so."
I'll open it up and be like, "Yes, I'm psychic."
Yeah, I wish I was psychic. Do you know the lottery numbers?
Fucking, I wouldn't be here if I did.
True.
But
Yeah, this is definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. This is my pick of the week. For
Awesome.
sure.
So yeah, basically, as we explained earlier, obviously no Batman Beyond and no the Last Son.
The Last Son, yeah, Venom one.
The Venom one.
The Good Son, sorry.
The Good Son, sorry. So that is it for this week, guys. Hopefully you've found that informative as well as entertaining. And if you have, it would be lovely if you could obviously hit that subscribe button down below.
Hit the little dinkly bell thing
You
so
like
you get all
dinkly
the notifications when we actually put up new videos.
Um,
And leave us a like.
Yeah, thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up, and obviously take part in the discussion down below. Just any questions, or if you want to tell us about what you thought about this week's books, or is there something that we should be reading? Let us know down in the comments.
Yeah,
below.
definitely. If there's anything you'd like for us to review, or you think we're missing out on something, let us know and we will probably read it.
Yeah. So as I say, guys, take care, and
See you!